So welcome to our first video of the season. I kind of stopped doing videos late last season. I kind of got bored, so I was so busy. But I kind of miss doing these videos. Obviously to recap what happened since I stopped doing them in last September. Well, we had the last month, 2015 Pacific Hurricane season. The El Nino became the strongest on record, and to cap off 2015, we had the strongest Pacific hurricane record, Hurricane Patricia, that hit on Mexico as a Category 4, but it peaked at with winds of 185 knots. I'll probably talk about some past storms and past seasons in a video eventually. Maybe we have acquired a year this year, but we'll see. But let's focus on 2016 right now. Obviously it's May 26 now. A few things have changed, obviously, since 2015. We had this, which I'll talk about later. We have this El Nino in the Pacific that has weakened and really is now fizzled out pretty much. I believe the latest weekly readings are actually finally below the 0.5 threshold. The S in the Southern Oscillation Index, while it's still negative, is out of El Nino threshold too. With a 30-day Southern Oscillation Index, But as a result, at least for right now, the Eastern Pacific is pretty quiet right now. It's still bad early, and I don't think it really means that much. Even though it's a little bit unusual to have no activity in May, at least recently nowadays, because the Eastern Pacific seasons, for whatever reason, in recent years have been trending earlier. And now right now, the MJO is right now kind of stuck over the Indian Ocean, and it's forecasted to stay that way for at least the next few days. And as a result, we have when MJOs in the Pacific, not in the Pacific, but in the Indian Ocean, it tends to lead to an extremely hostile environment with a lot of sinking air and shear. That's generally not overly conducive for tropical cyclone activity. However, this is forecasted to change. You can see here's the GFS, one that kind of has the MJO kind of bypassing the Western Pacific and then moving to the EPAC heavy phase. EPAC heavy phases 7, 8, and 1 of the MJO. Though the European is less bullish, but still shows the same thing, same general pattern. And this is reflected in the global computer models. Here's the GFS ensembles showing some activity off the coast of Mexico in June 5th. And even lately, the operational GFS has picked up on this, even though they disagree on the timing of the situation. Though the models so far appear to be trending westward from an earlier Mexico hit, from as they were showing yesterday, to today's 18C GFS run, which kind of had us farther out to sea. And it's not just the GFS. I've known from the UK Met, since the UK Met, for my public access, only goes out 6 days. But I will say, the EPS ensembles have also had some hints of activity around the same time period. And lately, the CFS ensembles seem to be moving the time frame down as well. And they actually have a pretty busy Eastern Pacific coming after around June 20th. But let's just not think about the short-term inter-seasonal forecast, but the long-term seasonal forecast too. So we have this La Nina in the Pacific, forming the Pacific. It's forecast to form in the CFS runs. It'll probably be here in about a month or two at this rate. But it's not that simple. Even though one would originally think that this would lead to an inactive Eastern Pacific season, and oftentimes it does, but we also have this very strong horseshoe classic plus PDO signature. And we have this negative Atlantic tripole with all this cold water in the North Atlantic. And the Atlantic and this warm water off the coast of Mexico, and those two ingredients when it comes together and could make for a decently conducive season. And it's kind of hard to say because we don't really know. Just because of the precise positioning evolution of this La Nina. This La Nina so far appears to be more east-based normal, and east-based La Nina does increase shear, but we don't really know where. The question is, will it's going to have more of an effect on the west coast of Mexico, or will have more of an effect in shear in the Atlantic? or will the warm waters off the west coast of Mexico have more an effect in creating increased wind shear in the Atlantic? There's been some good hints within the global models that at minimum upward motion will be favored over this part of the world. You can see here, okay, you can see the forecast for June. For June especially, actually this month not as bullish as other months. Especially June and at least in this one, October. Some months have been more conducive. Some months have been more conducive for the Eastern Pacific than others of the CFS model, but they show a general pattern that there will at least be some sort of decently conducive upward motion. But if you look at the analogs, it's really hard to say. It's really hard to find analogs for this. So as a result, I think this hurricane season is going to be a bit of a wild card. It's going to be a bit of a wacky season again. I mean, there's a reasonable chance the Eastern Pacific is very active, but it's also possible the La Nina gets stronger than expected. This kind of overrides the plus PDO a bit, and as a result, we kind of get more like an average season compared to an above average season. Let's take a look at a few of the analogs. I believe this is 1992. I mean, this is the most active Eastern Pacific season on record. This is kind of an absolute ceiling for this year, even though this appears to be unlikely to repeat itself. Just because 1992 the shear was much lower than it is now, and in 1992 we also had more of a La Nina event compared to a neutral event. Even though the plus PDO this year, 1992, is quite similar, along with the cold water in the Atlantic. And then, 1984 is probably the best analog I could find, honestly. You can see a La Nina, a weakish La Nina, kind of a fake La Nina that we commonly saw in the 80s forming, combined with some warm waters here, combined with a plus PDO that's not well defined, but definitely still evident here. And you also see the same pattern, even probably slightly better analog matches. 1985, we see the cold sea surface temperature anomalies normally struck over here, but then that's also coming up. There's also kind of 1985 was kind of the end of a strain of La Nina, so I don't think it's as good of an analog as other people think it is. But the common theme here is that these were all plus PDO years with neutral La Nina conditions, and they had pretty active seasons. However, with that said, I'm going to be pretty conservative with this season's. I'd be pretty conservative with this season's numbers, just because the wind shear that we've seen so far doesn't look particularly great in the vertical instability is only average. And we really don't know how strong this La Nina is going to get. I mean, that's it for today's video. I mean, I'll probably do a video like every week or something. Anyhow, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye!